Augusta Stadium, Rockhurst, the Hawklets welcoming Blue Springs Wildcats. These two are no strangers to one another. Coin toss. Blue Springs defend the second half, and so Rockhurst will take the ball and defend the west goal.
It's a kickoff for the Wildcats. Lance Shelton back for the Hawklets, standing in his own 3-yard line. Romero stands at his own 30, going to be kicking into a north wind. Talk about the weather here in just a little bit. Romero puts the boot into it, a pooch kick taken at the 20. Across the 25, dragged down around the 30-yard line. The return there by Jalen Creighton, and the stop there by Jonathan Mullins. So we'll get our first look at this Hawklet offense. A variety of things they enjoy doing. Led by Luke Bohm. 90 of 161 going into a couple of weeks ago. 1,328 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Will lead Rockhurst. He will stand at his own 26-yard line to start it off. Out of the shotgun, has a tight end to each side of him, and a running back. That's going to be Michael Johnson all day long at his right side. Brings his man in motion. They enjoy doing this a lot. That's Joseph Coit. Coit around the right side, across the 35, dragged down and got smacked around the 39, close to the 40-yard line. Is going to bring up a second and short for the Hawklets. A lot of things they like doing, bringing Coit in motion. He's also their leading receiver on the year. 20 receptions, had 6 touchdowns for him going into last week. They also like to find Reed Levi and then their big tight end Andrew Stafford. Number 88, keep an eye on him. So second down and 2 for the Hawklets. There's a bit of a pistol set here. Bohm takes a snap and hands it off. And across the 40, can be close to a first down. That's Jalen Creighton. Generous spot gives him the first down around the 41.5-yard line. 11:18 to go here in the first quarter. 47 degrees at kickoff. Doesn't feel like it now. The front came in right as we were looking at it. 15-mile-per-hour winds out of the north expected all day. And Bohm goes back to the pistol. Takes the handoff, looking one way, has one receiver out there, and then goes back to his tight end. Just as we said, that's going to be Andrew Stafford across the middle and into Wildcat territory, brought down at the 47-yard line. And Brett LeVar there for the stop for the Wildcats. Quite a crowd coming out today here at Augusta Stadium. Starting to fill up. We still have hundreds of fans outside the gates. The Hawklets well in control right now. Boom. Takes the snap, hands it off right behind him, a gain of 5. That would be Jalen Creighton again. You're expecting to see Michael Johnson. He's down here warming up on the sideline on the track, on the motorbike down here. So we'll see if he gets into the game soon. He is their leading rusher on the season. So it'll bring up a second down and 6. 10:25 here to go in the opening period. Bohm with a bit of a split back in the backfield. Fakes the handoff, looking right, looks back left now, and just finds his outlet receiver out of the backfield. Brought down around the 35-yard line. That's Jalen Creighton again. Creighton getting his due so far. Ethan Zipsey there on the stop for the Wildcats. Rockhurst moving the ball efficiently here. This is a rematch of 78 days ago. These two teams met here August 31st. Rockhurst took down Blue Springs 17-0 in that opening match. 2 receivers to Bohm's left, Bohm under center. Once again, it's going to be a pitch out this time. Blue Springs has it covered, but still able to make a little bit happen. And up to the 26-yard line, Jalen Creighton getting the ball once again, but there is a flag on the play. Blue Springs able to seal the edge, but Creighton able to find a seam, but it's going to be coming back. A hold on Rockhurst. It's going to bring it back 10 yards and bring it first down at 20. Then, now driving all the way back to the 56-yard line of Blue Springs. Spot foul brings it back 10 yards from there. yards, a first down with 21 to go. 9:40 here to go in the opening period. I want to give a big shout out to Todd Sanford running the gear over here, making us look good on a10varsity.com. Thanks for joining us. Chilly day out here at NASA Stadium. Boom, out of the shotgun, play action. Nobody's in front of him, and he's going to take off. Makes one guy miss, slides down around the 30. Avoided the hit there of Ray Porter. And a nice scramble there, 14 yards. So no harm, no foul with the holding call. Bohm able to pick up 14, and it'll bring him second down and 7 to go. Passing the 9-minute mark here in the first quarter. Making something out of nothing is Bohm there. Had a couple of options instead. Nobody was spying him, and took off and had it at 14. Out of the shotgun once again. This time a handoff. And a stiff arm shoves a man to the ground. He stays on his feet, but he's going to lose a yard and a half there. Once again, Jalen Creighton on the carry. Chuck Ingram there in the backfield as well. They like running the split pistol there. Ingram going to be running the fullback all day. At 6 foot, 205 pounds, the junior. By the way, Luke Bowen, 6 foot, 190, a senior. Trying to lead his team to another state championship. Be their 5th appearance in 7 years. Pardon me, that would be Luke Springs. Boom, out of the shotgun. Play action again, goes back to a wheel route, it's wide open. Inside the 10-yard line and scoops out of bounds Jalen Creighton. The old play action wheel route right back to the running back, and it works out. Bohm able to pick up a good chunk again, another 22-yard gain for the Hawklets. Stops the clock at 7:58 here in the opening period. Bohm under center. Creighton in the backfield, 6 yards behind him. Play action, looking over to the right, there's nobody in front of him. Bohm taking off, and he will pick up 6 yards down to the 5-yard line. Got to respect the quarterback here in the backfield. Bohm, a couple of good runs here on the opening drive for the Hawklets. Their path to the semifinal. They had to go through Lee Summit High. They beat them 45-7. Through Lee Summit West, 38-14, and through Lee Summit North, 10-3. It's safe to say we're calling the champions at Lee Summit. Pitch over to the left side. Nobody there. Touchdown, Hawklets. Jalen Creighton able to just skip into the end zone. 5-yard carry, and the Hawklets strike first. 7:19 to go here in the opening quarter, and it's 6-0 Rockhurst. Owen Lawson will do the kicking duties for the Hawklets today. Carter Elder, the holder, and the long snapper is Jackson Wentworth. The center for the offense is the long snapper. Good snap, good hold, and good kick. The Hawklets strike first here at NASA Stadium. 7-0. Blue Springs will get the ball coming up next whenever we return. You're watching high school football on a10varsity.com.
With the Hawklets State for successful 2018-19 sports season, Rock State.
You still have gray hair from it.
Yeah, I know. That defense. Woo.
Owen Lawson to kick off for Rockhurst.
And welcome back. Rockhurst strikes for 7-0. They lead. Owen Lawson Rockhurst teeing it up. Avion Bailey stands at his own 6. Cross from Hanso Tapusoa, who's going to get the kick. Standing at his own 4-yard line. Across the 15 to the 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. He's got the kicker to beat and a couple of guys across the 40-yard line of Rockhurst. He's going to be pushed out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Couldn't ask for better field position than that. Hanso Tapusoa. Nice kick return there. Maybe trying to keep it away from Avion Bailey, and it didn't necessarily work. This offense led by Kobe Mansfield, 9-3 on the year. Been a solid year for them. Their path to the semifinal, they beat Jeff City 36-0, Blue Springs South 31-21, and then Rockbridge in a thriller 29-27. They are going for their 5th state appearance in 7 years. Mansfield under center. Avion Bailey gets the pitch at the 42, across the 30. Oh, and he's nobody to beat except for one guy who tracks him down. Good solid play there from the backfield. Avion Bailey making his presence known early, a pickup of 25 yards. And they're already in the red zone. One play. Really good pickup there by Avion Bailey. First down at 10, that moves the chains. Bailey goes to the sideline. Tosses off something to the coaching staff and then runs back out for another play out, assume another carry. Mansfield under center, bunch set right. Another pitch, might as well student body right. This time the Hawklets have it figured out. Stop there by Jack McKinley. Jack McCliney there. Pickup of 2 for Bailey, 2 carries. 25 yards or so for Bailey. And they're in business. Mansfield hasn't had to go to the air yet. Has a single receiver to his left side. Tight end. Now man in motion. Double wing set here out of the shotgun. Bailey standing to Mansfield's left. It's a play action, and then he just stumbled down. That one there is Quentin Fontenot. Tripped over his own pulling guard. It's going to be a loss of 4. And bring up 3rd down and 11. So after the fantastic kick return and a good first play by Avion Bailey, the Hawklet crowd gets involved. Full side over here, and there's still hundreds of people outside the gate. Mansfield under center. I formation, the handoff. Instead he pulls it. Also there on the stop. He's had quite a year statistically. 104 tackles and 80 solo. You can add another assisted tackle there. Cooper Willick going to be holding for this 29-yard field goal attempt by Freddie Ramiro from the right hash. Boots into it. And it's up and good. So the Wildcats on the board. This drive stalls out even though it started on the Hawklet side of the field. It's 7-3, 5:07 here to go in the opening period. You're watching high school football on 810varsity.com.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Parkville Springs, Blue Valleys, Olathe, Rockhurst, Liège, Lansing. The list goes on in Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Okay.
51st Annual Missouri State High School Activities Association Championship. Giving information can be found on the association website. We'll see you at Shelby Bowl 2018.
And welcome back to Rockhurst. A field goal on the board for Blue Springs Freddie Ramiro's 29-yard shot was good. And now he's going to boot it from the 40. A little squib kick here. Ground ball. Ball still on the ground, and Blue Springs is going to have it. Back-to-back possessions. And coming away with it there is Ziggy Affo, the wide receiver. The ground ball works. Goes in between the legs there of Rockhurst, and they're going to be right back out on the field for defense. Let's see what they're able to do. Luke Boehm has to stay on the sideline here. Still see Michael Johnson, the Hocklet running back, down on the track trying to get warmed up here. Refs discussing. It looked like Blue Springs came away with it. Ziggy Affo, the white hat. It looks like the entire Blue Springs team is off the sideline here waiting for the decision. And an explanation being needed. Now Blue Springs crowd is not happy. Hocklet crowd, retaliation. Now it looks as if there's going to be a re-kick. I don't know exactly what the clarification is. All right, this is something that we haven't seen in a long time. The offense is coming out on the field. So it's the defense for Blue Springs. This is confusing. Now, I think both defenses, there's the kickoff return team for Rockhurst out there and the defense out there for Blue Springs. 5:03 here to go in the first quarter, guys. I'm not sure we're going to make it if we don't figure it out here. So the offense gets pulled off the sideline. It looks as if the Blue Springs offense is going to come out. I think we've gotten it all figured out now. We'll see. Still pending. It would be Blue Springs ball around the 32-yard line or so. We have, luckily we have instant replay up here. KCTV5 up here filming it. There's a... Let's see what happened here. It was muffed. It was at the 30. Ball never... Well, that certainly looks as if it would be Blue Springs ball. The Hawklets have their kickoff return team out, but I can't imagine that... there was no flag on the play. So I think we're all confused at this point. However, I guess this is what refs get paid for, right? I don't know. Make them make the hard decisions. It's 7-3 Rockhurst. 5:03 here in the first quarter. There's still so much confusion out there. Blue Springs doesn't know what's going on. Rockhurst doesn't know what's going on. Okay, now we got a full-fledged substitution. It's like hockey. We have guys just hopping over the wall there and getting right into the action. Okay, Blue Springs defense is out there. Rockhurst offense is out there. Don't know what happened there. I think they might have ruled that they had the ball and were down. There's some video that says otherwise. So Luke Boehm comes back into the game, and it's 1st and 10 Rockhurst from their own 31-yard line, I formation behind. A couple of pulling linemen from the left side to the right side, and a pickup of 4 there for Jalen Creighton. Jalen Creighton following a couple of his big blockers there, and picks up 4. 2nd down and 6. Only getting colder here at the stadium. Packed house here for state semifinal Saturday here in Class 6A in the state of Missouri. Have more to talk about the Show Me Bowl here in just a little bit. I formation tight end left. Boehm hands off again. A bounce out to the outside. And finally a good stop there. Jalen Creighton, ball carrier, and Nico Manning there for the stop for Blue Springs. So after all the confusion, it's 3rd and 4. They have a chance to get a stop on a 3 and out and get a punt. We'll see if the Wildcats are able to muster up some blitz here, see if Bame goes to the air. And they want to think about it. Timeout by Tony Severino. And we'll take it with him. And we'll try and figure out exactly what happened there on that kickoff. It's 7-3, 3:57 here to go in the first quarter. You are watching high school football on a10varsity.com.
Chiefs checking from America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
Goes up 13-3 with 3:40 here to go in the first quarter. So a massive play from Bame to Stafford sets up another Jalen Creighton run for touchdown. 13-3, Rockhurst here at home. Owen Lawson trying to go a perfect 2 for 2 on the day. Snap, hold, and kick are all good. Well, it's 14-3 now. Blue Springs has another chance on offense when we return on a10varsity.com. Now, I appreciate that. That's very good. That's, yeah. 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 I don't know about that. Yeah. Yeah, it was a weird play. And welcome back to Dasta Stadium. Owen Lawson has it teed up on the right hash as if they're going to go for an onside kick. I don't know. 3:40 here to go in the opening quarter, and it's a pooch kick up into the wind. Going to be taken at the 17. Keeping it away from Patso Tapu Soa, who returned to the 36 last time. A little bit better kickoff return coverage this time by the Hawklets. Ray Horton picks it up for the Wildcats and takes it out to the 28-yard line, where Kobe Mansfield and Avion Bailey come back out to work. They got a field goal on their opening drive that started at the 36-yard line, only able to pick up 22 on an Avion Bailey rush, and then it went backwards from there. The Freddie Ramiro field goal puts it at 14-3, with 3:34 here to go. Mansfield under center at his own 26-yard line. Bailey out of the backfield in a single back, and he runs straight into a wall of Hocklets. Like Mitch Tarwater was there to lead the way for the Hocklets, but a lot of people were there. Andrew Stafford also involved, the recipient of a 56-yard reception on the last Rockhurst possession. He's playing the defensive end on the bottom of your screen, plays tight end and defensive end for this Rockhurst team. So it's 2nd and 8, under 3 minutes now here to go in the opening quarter. Mansfield under center. And following a blocker, Avion Bailey out on the edge. Stiff arms one and leans into another. And a pickup of a couple. Cooper Kresek there. Number 4, the 5'1", 195-pound senior. 5'1", tracking him down. Bailey has him by a little bit, 5'11", 210. So he's got 10 inches and 25 pounds on him, and he's able to drag him down. So it's 3rd down and 6. Ref's going to blow the whistle to get something off the field. Looks like a hand warmer. One of the equipment guys from Rockhurst runs out on the field quickly for it. And we're back in play. 2:20 here to go in the first quarter. 3rd and 6 for Blue Springs. Mansfield out of the I formation. Pulls it. And he's going nowhere. A wall of Hocklets again. Minimal gain, if any. And they drive him out of bounds to stop the clock as well. Tucker Atwood, the leading tackler for the Hocklets, given credit for the tackle there. And so Blue Springs will have to punt. 2:08 here to go in the first quarter. 4th and 6. And a couple of guys back for the Hocklets. Once Lance Shelton. And Kobe Mansfield, the quarterback for the Wildcats, is the punter. A very wobbly snap. He's able to get it away. Cooper Kresek's going to take it off of bounds at his own 23. Gets a good block, probably a block in the back, and it is. A couple of flags come in. They're going to be the same call. It's going to be Jalen Creighton. He's been playing running back for him all day, and he's going to get a block in the back. Maybe he's just trying to add to his stats, is what we'll say. Rockhurst comes out. Has the wind for about, well, it's a crosswind. This field runs east to west. Wind out of the north. It's felt a little bit out of the northwest, if anything, but now it's almost pure north, if not a little out of the northeast. I'm not a meteorologist by any stretch, but that flag is moving a lot. Luke Boehm trotting back out onto the field, nursing an 11-point lead. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. Like I said, August 31st, Rockhurst handed Blue Springs a 17-0 loss right here at Dassa Stadium. Boehm under center in the I formation. It's going to be a reverse here. Coit has some blockers in front, and it's going to be a gain of 7. One of the lead blockers there, Danielson Ike, he's all the way from Nigeria. He's found his way here. A great story, one of the pulling guards, and he's going to go play college ball somewhere. Got a couple of offers. Got all the big names excited at 6'7", 340. And with that size, his footwork, you imagine he's got to be going somewhere at the next level soon. Boehm under center I formation again. This time a pure handoff. But with the ball's on the ground, they call him a pure athlete. Lance Shelton was there in the backfield, and Rockhurst able to get back on top of it. Shelton not happy. The fumble sets him back a couple of yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5. Less than a minute here to go in the first quarter. Shelton's going to go to the sideline. Not happy. He got his first carry of the game, and he fumbled it. Lost a couple of yards there. The Blue Springs sideline comes alive, the purple and gold. Bame out of the shotgun, standing in his 16. Play action, a little corner blitz. It finds his tight end, Stafford. Pickup of 7. Going to be good enough for a first down. Andrew Stafford had a big game so far. And Mr. Reliable there. Looking like somebody finding Tony Gonzalez back in the day. Good solid start for him. 23 seconds here to go in the first quarter. 1st and 10 from their own 27 is what Rockhurst is facing. I formation, Bame, a tight end to his right, a single receiver up to his right as well. Handoff to the fullback. Fullback pound up the middle. That's Chuck Ingram. Pickup of 2. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. 14-3. Rockhurst holds the lead. We've had some crazy plays thus far, including what might have been a fumble, what might not have been a fumble on the kickoff return. Instead, Rockhurst takes advantage. It's 14-3, and they have the ball going from east to west whenever we return. Jonathan Plasek and Todd Sanford here for you, and we will return on 810varsity.com after this.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
Welcome back to Dasta Stadium. Jonathan Plasek, Todd Sanford here for you. It's 14-3. Rockhurst through 1 quarter of play. Single back. Bame looking left, finds a hitch route and brought down quickly. Tackle there by Stephon Black the second. And a pickup of 4 for Rockhurst. Joseph Coit, the leading receiver for Rockhurst, the recipient of that one. We're in the second quarter, and there's still hundreds of people waiting outside Dasta Stadium to get in. Like we've discussed, we're going to have to squeeze in. It's a cold day, so you might as well snuggle up like a bunch of penguins. 11:27 here to go in the second quarter, and Bame in a split backfield. Play action. Has a streaker. Instead, he goes short and incomplete. Good defense there. Isaac Harkness. It looked as if he had a man going downfield. That was Reed Levi. It would have been solo coverage, but he got quite a ways down the field. I don't know if that would have been easy to get it all the way there. So it brings up 4th down and 4. Rockhurst going to go with the punt team. Gabe Whipple going to be the punter. Long snapper Jackson Wentworth, the normal center. And another whistle. There'll be a substitution. Return man standing at his own 25-yard line for Blue Springs. And it's a shank off the right side of the foot. Takes a Rockhurst bounce and continues to bounce out to the 35-yard line for Blue Springs. That was Matt Marzoff back to return and turned into an okay kick. Gabe Whipple flips the field of 32 yards. 11:08 here to go in the second quarter. 14-3 Rockhurst. They have taken full advantage of some breaks going their way so far. They're wearing their home blue jerseys, white numerals, their white pants, and their white helmet. Blue Springs, the visitor, wearing all white unis, the purple numerals in the purple helmet. Mansfield, a little fake to the fullback. Avion Bailey receives the pitch and picks up 5. And a late flag comes in. We'll see. Typically extracurricular activity happening if there's a late flag there. Personal foul on Rockhurst. And that'll add 15 to Blue Springs. They'll be in Rockhurst territory at the 45-yard line, so that helps. A 5-yard Avion Bailey run turns into a 20-yard gain with the penalty. Mansfield has a couple of running backs behind him now, one being Avion Bailey and the other one being Quentin Fontenot, the second leading rusher. Bailey in the fullback position. It's a fullback dive. Trying to follow a blocker. He bounces it out to the left side. Brought down by a host of Hawklets up to the 40-yard line. There on the stop is 24 Mitch Tarwater. So 3 plays so far this drive and a couple of first downs. Kobe Mansfield leading this team. He also has 503 rush yards himself this season, so beware of him. Quentin Fontenot around the right side finds a hole across the 30 to the 25 to the 20. Inside the 15 and gets rocked. Wow, Tucker Atwood not happy about that. Wow, what a hit. Feel that up here. But it's a first down and 10 on a gain of 27 by Fontenot. First and 10 at the 14. Blue Springs trying to look for their first touchdown of the season against Rockhurst. Like I said, these two teams played back August 31st, and it was 17-0 Rockhurst. It's 14-3 here today. State semifinal Saturday. Mansfield hands it off to Fontenot again. He dances a little bit and picks up a few once again. And it's going to be Tucker Atwood. 9:43 here to go in the opening half. 14-3. The winner of this game goes on to the state championship against Christian Brothers College or Joplin. That game kicking off at 3 p.m. today down in Joplin. Another hour and 21 minutes or so before they get going down there in the jungle. So it's 2nd and 5. 9:20 here on the clock in the half. Brings a man in motion. Mansfield hands it off to Bailey. Bailey, the workhorse, and brought down. There's a late flag. We'll see what that is. Tommy Eccles there as well as Mitch Tarwater. Maybe a face mask. It came in late by the umpire. He's pointing at Rockhurst. And a face mask is the call. Blue Springs crowd. Little roar over there. Their side packed as well. Still down to about 75 people outside the gate now. It's a packed house today for state semifinal Saturday. First down and goal from the 4-yard line. The Wildcats, like I said, looking for their first touchdown of the year against this Rockhurst team. A bunch set over to the right, a tight end as well as a receiver tight split. Bailey in the backfield. Pitch, student body right, and flipped on his head. Cooper Kresick there. Loss of 4. What a hit there.
Loss of 4 on the play. 2nd and goal. At the 8.
So substitution. Micah King coming in. A second running back coming into the backfield for Blue Springs. The I formation. Bailey, 6 yards behind Mansfield. Mansfield play action. Wide open tight end, and it's intercepted. Throws it into the end zone. And he's going to bring it out across the 5 to the 9-yard line. Josh Moore with the interception. And Kobe Mansfield throws it away to the tight end. Josh Moore comes away with the interception. So a costly mistake there. He did look open, and then the corner dropped into coverage. Josh Moore comes away with the interception. So that'll stall it up very quickly. There is a flag, personal foul on Blue Springs. So the Rockhurst defense comes up with a big stop. Blue Springs knocking on the door, and they can not find the end zone. That brings the ball out all the way to the 24-yard line. So Luke Boehm back to work. 2 touchdowns for this team so far today. RJ Pascuzzi in the backfield for Rockhurst. I like switching it up in the backfield. Play action. Boehm stands, has a pocket, going deep, open, overthrows Cooper Kresick. Had a step. Wow, that could have been a 75-yard touchdown there. Instead, 6 inches overthrown. Turns into a 2nd down and 10. A lot of excitement for an incomplete pass. Boehm angry at himself that he missed the throw. I don't think he missed it by much. So now it's 2nd and 10, 8:14 here to go in the second quarter. It's an I formation. RJ Pascuzzi 6 yards behind him. It's a handoff, left side. Got a blocker across the 30 and upended there by number 19, Alex Hughes. So it brings up a 3rd down and 4. Can Blue Springs come away with another stop? They got a big stop last drive. Can they put a stop to this Hawklets offense on a 3rd down and 4? 7:46 here to go in the first half. Under center, Boehm. Handoff, Pascuzzi, and wrapped up, brought down. That's going to be number 56. Jose Ramos. Going to bring up a 4th down and 1, according to the far line judge there. No switch of the punt team yet. Tony Severino. What's he going to do? Some would consider this risky. It's a 4th down and 1 from their own 32-yard line. Blue Springs brings in an extra big boy. Up front, they have 6 down linemen if it stays this way. RJ Pascuzzi in the backfield. And a timeout taken by Rockhurst. Sure enough, Severino wanted to think it out a little bit more. 4th down and 1. 6:49 here to go in the opening half. It's 14-3 Rockhurst. We'll return right back after this on a10varsity.com.
What do you think about your insurance? Chances are it's when you're paying your bill or filing a claim. At Briar Payne Mead, we always think about your insurance. It's what we do. Buying a car, having a baby, building a home, starting a business. Then it's time to call BPM at 913-681-099 or visit us on the web at bpminsurance.com. Great service and extremely competitive rates from the top-rated companies. Briar Payne Mead, 913-681-099. That's 913-681-099.
4th down and 1, handoff to Pascuzzi. That's going to be close, according to the line judge. And it's a 1st down. They get a stop there. A couple of guys there to stop him. Ray Horton. That defense gets a massive stop. Well, Tony Severino rolls the dice. He said a turnover for a turnover at worst. So the Kobe Mansfield interception leads to a 4th down and 1, eventually for Rockhurst, and they get stopped by the Blue Springs defense. Massive stop for them. 6:46 here to go in the opening half. It's 14-3 Rockhurst. Finally, all the people are in the stadium that want to be in the stadium, I think. Packed house, student section. There's some guys over there with their shirts off. I don't advise it today. Mansfield out of shotgun. And it's a QB draw going absolutely nowhere. Tim Glazer there in the backfield. It's a loss of 2. Well, pretty much at capacity here at Dosta Stadium on the campus of Rockhurst. 2nd and 13 coming up. 6:21 here in the opening quarter. A lot of people have their jackets and beanies out. A lot of kids out on the field wearing no sleeves. Mansfield under center, a little fake pitch going back to Fontenot. Fontenot dragging a defender. That defender, Mitch Tarwater. It's a pickup of 6. Bring up 3rd down and 7. Got to believe 4 down territory for Blue Springs. Got a couple of plays here to mess around with. Blue Springs and Coach Kelly Donahoe. He has 4 state titles, being treated for cancer in the abdomen region. He's had chemotherapy each day this week, and he's going to take a time out to think about it. 3rd down and 7 coming up. 5:38 here to go in the opening half. It's 14-3 Rockhurst. Jonathan Plasek and Todd Sanford on board with you here on 810varsity.com. We'll be back in just a moment.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on and on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
Welcome back to Dosta Stadium. Jonathan Plasek, Todd Sanford here on board with you. It's a 3rd down and 7 for Blue Springs. Mansfield out of the shotgun with Bailey to his right side. Fakes it there. Thought about a throw. He's going to take off and run with it. Lowers his head into Mitch Tarwater and picks up 6 of the 7. Temperature continuing to drop here. I mentioned before the break, the coats, the beanies, the gloves, they're all out. Except for those couple kids in the student section wearing no shirts. 4th down and 1. And a false start. That one was 32. Eli Stewart was going for the inside handoff, I'm sure, to Avion Bailey. And instead, it's going to be 4th down and 6. Said the temperature continuing to drop here. The sun is completely gone. We saw it about 10 minutes before the game started. The front came in and man, did the wind bring it quickly. So the 5-yard penalty moves back the Wildcats. They're just trying to get on the board with a touchdown. It's 14-3. I mentioned it in their last drive. I don't think I jinxed them, but said they were looking for a touchdown for the first time against this Hocklet defense all year, and sure enough, Kobe Mansfield threw an interception to Josh Moore. So it's 4th down and 6. 2 guys in the backfield. That's Bailey and Fontenot. Tight end left. 2 receivers up top. Play action. A couple of guys en route. Good pocket. Throws it wide open. Cooper Willick. Touchdown. Wildcats. 29-yard strike. How about Mansfield? Looked like it was going to Patso Tapuso. Instead, Willick with a 29-yard catch and run for the score. 14-9 as of right now. Pinning the Freddie Ramiro extra point. We got a 4-point ball game. What a drive there after the 4th and 1 stop for the Blue Springs defense. Mansfield and that offense able to turn it around and get a touchdown against the Hocklets. Snap down, pulled down. Kick is good by Freddie Ramiro. 14-10. Hey, you wanted some scoring on a cold day. 14-10, Rockhurst. 4:41 here in the first half to go. And we're going to take a short break. We'll be back right after this on 810varsity.com.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
Welcome back. 14-10 ball game. Rockhurst on top here at home, but Blue Springs showing a little bit of heart here. Kobe Mansfield, the quarterback, kicks a side spinning kick into the end zone, and he can't bring it out. Lance Shelton wanted to. Mansfield able to kick it all the way to the end zone. 4:41 here to go in the opening half. A reminder, the winner of this game, Christian Brothers College versus Joplin, happened at 3 p.m. today. It's hard hitting, hard pounding, excitement. It's community versus community and school against school. The #1 high school football event in the state. Talking about the 2018 Misha Show Me Bowl. This year's championships feature 7 games, November 24th, 30th, and December 1st. The pinnacle of high school football in Missouri. Get your tickets today. Handoff for Rockhurst. Jalen Creighton. Going back to that read here. Get your tickets today and be a part of the action. For more information, log on to misha.org or contact one of the schools involved in today's game. We'll see you at the Show Me Bowl 2018. Taking place next week. And all signs pointing to the #1 team in the state, which is Christian Brothers College out of St. Louis. But these two teams showing what they're made of today. And Joplin will have to say something about that later on today as well. The out route, Bame, great catch, but he was out of bounds. Wow, just in and out. Joseph Coit, a quiet half. Coit, quite a big part of this offense throughout the year. The leading receiver, over 400 yards, 6 touchdowns on the year. He hasn't gotten a lot of looks today. And a couple of rushing attempts as well. Stafford has really been their go-to guy. The tight end, 6'3", 230 at the bottom of your screen. Bame out of the backfield. Play action. Gets rush, has a good pocket, and finds Stafford right on cue. Stop made there by Quinn Insor. Stafford is he's a matchup problem. At 6'3", 230, can run with the best of those guys out there. However, the problem with him is that he plays both sides of the ball. So, at some point, you got to think he's going to get a little bit tired. However, it's not a 95-degree day in August. It's a 45-degree day and feels less than that in the month of November. State semifinal Saturday. Taking on Blue Springs. 14-10, 3:39 here to go in the opening half. Coit in motion. Jet sweep. Has a convoy of blockers. And what a great defensive play there. Brought down by Nicholas Henderson. Henderson keeps it to a 2-yard gain for Coit. Coit definitely a big part of this offense. He also had a good amount of rushing yards this year as well. Tony Severino has 7 state titles. Looking for number 8 if he can get the next week and can knock off a team from across the state. He's got to get through Blue Springs today. Blue Springs looking for their 5th state appearance in the past 7 years for Coach Kelly Donahoe and the Wildcats. Bame out of shotgun, takes a snap, looks at the out route, coming back to it, and a good catch and run. Cooper Krizek there, a pickup of 10 for a first down. Stopped there by Austin Suller. A little out zigzag back to the inside. It's a tough route to cover, especially in the zone. They sent a guy on the out and up, and then they had the out back to the inside. The out slant is probably what we'll call that. Trips to the right for Bame. Bame cocking back to throw again, finds his receiver. Wow, what a hit there. That's Austin Suller again there on the hit. That's Reed Levi. Levi picks up 7 on first down. Second down and 3.
Second and 3.
2:05 here to go in the opening half. That big Rockhurst offensive line leading this team down the field. Good pass protection on the day. Bame, once again, well protected. Scrambles back to his right, finds his tight end Stafford, who lowers his shoulder over a guy. Gets inside the 35. Stephon Black had to do the duty of covering him. And man, it's a tough gig. Stafford, just a big dude out there. 146 got out of bounds. So Rockhurst trying to add on to this. Blue Springs deferred, so they're going to get the ball first in the second half. Rockhurst has to make the most out of what they can in this next minute and 46 seconds. Handoff now across the right side, across the 30, down to the 25-yard line. That's Jalen Creighton. Creighton's been there all day long. Not seen their leading rusher in Michael Johnson. Johnson was stretching out on the bike earlier. No longer see him down there, so Creighton, the main back right now, behind Chuck Ingram, the fullback. A little bit of movement. And the line judge showing false start. Move it back 5 yards. Bring up about second and 6.5 or so. Bring an extra defensive back. Take one of the linemen off the field for Blue Springs. Looks like they're going to be in a nickel set here. 1 minute, 19 seconds to go, and the clock is running. Bame out of the shotgun, standing at his own 30, or at the Blue Springs 35, I should say. Steps into it, flag flies. Caught, Creighton inside the 5. Out of bounds, but it looks as if the White Hat's going to call a holding. And it is. I don't know if I'm jinxing people, but I said good protection earlier. And since then, there's been a hold and a couple of plays that haven't gone towards the Rockhurst side of the field. So moving back 10. Holding on the offense, and Severino wants a little bit of an explanation. So it'll be second down to 18. After the spot foul, moves it back 10. 1:05 here to go. There's one timeout left for Rockhurst, 2 left for Blue Springs. I wonder if you're Blue Springs, just, hey, take it. Take it into the halftime. You're going to get the ball first. We'll see what they decide to do here. Bame with his fullback, Chuck Ingram to his left. Ingram can run as well. Trips to the left side. And more flags. How about all at once, boys? 4 flags at once. It's like synchronized swimming, but synchronized reffing. The only guy that didn't get involved was the back judge. What was he doing? French judge not happy.
Second and 23, 47.
I think he just didn't want to bend down to pick up the flag again. He knew everybody else had it. Second down and 23. They're going the wrong way. 1:04 left here in the half. Bame and Ingram in the backfield. Same formation. Looks like it's going to be the same play. A little half step left. Nobody in front, and a convoy of, oh my. Oh my. A lower of the helmet. Looking for a flag. Offensive lineman getting involved. Not pretty. Ethan Zipsey there on the stop. And that's Luke Bame on the ground. Took a helmet-to-helmet hit pretty hard, but give him, he was going down. There's no flag down. Both guys diving in. Bame on the ground still. He scrambled out. Yeah, that's a tough hit. Luckily, we have the beauty of instant replay up here. We're looking at the camera shot a couple of times up here, and Bame, he got struck hard. One of those things, Zipsy was coming in. Yeah. He went for the head as far as his two hands went to his head initially, but it looks like they're looking at a couple of things down there. We'll see. The backup quarterback's getting ready. That's Nick Smirt. See Nick Smirt on film. Rockhurst's been in some blowouts this year, so he's not a stranger to action. Luckily enough for Rockhurst, 39 seconds until halftime. Well, it's something that this one here's the Bame, I should say. Sorry. And so we're here with 39 seconds left. Blue Springs has 2 timeouts. Just trying to make a play out of something. Rolled left, rolled right, took off with it, picked up a good bunch of 7 yards, and then got tangled up. Zipsy came in, help out his teammates with the tackle, and Bame is still down. A lot of the Rockhurst fans on their feet. A lot of quiet fans here at Dasta Stadium. And I think we're going to take a break with them, guys. They're calling out the cart. We'll see if they pull them off. But we'll return. Hopefully everything's all right down there with Luke Bame. We'll return after this on a10varsity.com.
Checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
High school sports fans, Trent Green here, and when I want the latest scores and news, there's only one place I go, 810varsity.com. Live scores, features, brackets, and even watch games live on the laptop, phone, or mobile device. Watch the Lee Summit, Blue Springs, and Park Hill schools, Blue Valleys, Olathes, Rockhurst, Miege, Lansing. The list goes on into Missouri and Kansas. And playoff broadcasts too, plus top 25, awards, and more. Check it out now, Kansas City's home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
When do you think about your insurance? Chances are it's when you're paying your bill or filing a claim. At Briar Payne Mead, we always think about your insurance. It's what we do. Buying a car, having a baby, building a home, starting a business. Then it's time to call BPM at 913-681-099 or visit us on the web at bpminsurance.com. Great service and extremely competitive rates from the top-rated companies. Briar Payne Mead, 913-681-099. That's 913-681-099.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long.
Well, Luke Bame is on his feet, and a standing ovation from the Rockhurst crowd as well. Getting some assistance, trying to walk it off. So it's going to be backup quarterback Nick Smirt There's 39 seconds left. There's 1 timeout for Rockhurst, 2 timeouts for Blue Springs. And so we get right back into the action. Bame still walking, doing just fine. Going to go to the locker room 40 seconds early or so. Nick Smirk takes the shotgun snap. Saw him throwing. He's going up top, going for his man. Had a guy there, but good defense as well. Brett LeVar back on defense. That was for Cooper Kresick. Well, they decide to go for the pass, so it stops the clock with 27 ticks left here in the first half. 14-10 Rockhurst. And it looks as if they're just going to punt the ball away. Offense coming off the field. Gabe Whipple coming out to punt. And timeout, Blue Springs. So it's 14-10. The good news is that Luke Bame, standing and walking under his own power, went down, took a pretty hard hit. To recap the first half for you, there have been a couple of 4th and 1 stops from both sides, an interception thrown by Nick Mansfield early as well, a crazy kickoff that we thought was Blue Springs ball and instead ended up being Rockhurst ball, and they went down and scored. So the game is not disappointed so far. 14-10 Rockhurst. They're facing a 4th and 16. Blue Springs will have 1 timeout on their side as they get the ball back. You got to wonder if this is something that, you know, early in August, their first couple of practices, if you say, hey, let's cook up a reverse on a punt return and see if we can get one and break one off. It doesn't look like Blue Springs is going to send a guy back very deep. You have a couple of guys there. Brett LeVar and Ray Horton, they're back at the 24-yard line, and they are going to fake it. They were anticipating a fake, and then he just punts it away. A bad kick. Cooper Kresick has an awfully late flag, but Kresick was the punter. He did punt the ball, and then he felt like he got roughed, and so did the white hat. So 20 seconds left. Could result in points here for Rockhurst. Line judge on the far side comes in to convene. Umpire in there as well. It certainly looked like he was going to take off for it. And then he ended up. Okay. So we got a running into the kicker. But was it roughing the kicker? Because running into the kicker is a different penalty. And it looks as if the offense is going to come back, but let's just say both sides of the crowd have not been super happy with the Zebras today. They've worked very, very hard. Appreciate the work they do. It looks as if Joseph Coit in that offense, Coit's the only one recognizable out there right now with 18 showing. A lot of big linemen out there with him as well. It's still 4th down. 4th and 11. They bring back out their offense, looks like. So now you take a shot, I would assume. They're bringing back out the offense. From here it'd be extremely far, 52-yard field goal for a high schooler. Not impossible, but not today into that wind. A little crosswind is difficult. So we have Nick Smirk. Breaks the huddle with 20 seconds left. The worst comes to worst. The ball gets batted down, and they take over from the 35. All right, another timeout. This time Blue Springs. Seems like this has gone on for a little bit. Maybe, maybe not. I'll say it started at 1 o'clock. I'm just past 2:10. Rockhurst here at home. Started off hot in the first quarter. They've cooled off since. Blue Springs scoring here in the second quarter. It's 14-3. And then the 29-yard strike between Mansfield and Willock makes it 14-10. Jalen Creighton been the show so far for Rockhurst. They've kind of gone away from it in the second quarter. Had a lot of rushing yards in the first quarter. And then Blue Springs started figuring out the recipe, and they went to the air. 20 seconds here to go in the first half. We appreciate you guys tuning in on 810varsity.com. Jonathan Plassick on board with you. Todd Sanford running the camera as well as the equipment over here, bringing the live broadcast to you. Certainly appreciate you joining in for some of your Saturday with us. Smart out of the shotgun, has a couple of guys who's right, one up top, and he's going to go to a single-side receiver. Everybody's asking for a flag. No flag. Cooper Krizek was the intended receiver. Ray Horton there on the defense. 13 seconds to go. And so Blue Springs takes over at their own 35. 65 yards. Not impossible. However, you got to wonder how aggressive Kelly Donahoe wants to be. Head coach of the Wildcats, like I said, has 4 state titles to his name. And they're looking for their 5th state appearance in the last 7 years. Tony Severino on the other side looking for state championship number 8. If he's able to make it the next Saturday. Mansfield takes a knee, and so we go to the half. It's 14-10. Rockhurst leads. We have the backup quarterback in. We will keep an eye on that for Rockhurst if Nick Smirt comes back out or if Luke Bohm tries to make a heroic effort and come back out as well. We will have to find out whenever we return right after halftime. 15 minutes on the clock, and we'll see you on the other side on 810varsity.com.
Checking from Community America.
And, yep. Welcome back to Dasta Stadium. Jonathan Pulasic as well as Todd Sanford here with you, bringing you some state semifinal action. Rockhurst, Blue Springs, 14-10 at the half. Rockhurst going to have to be climbing uphill a little bit in the second half there. Starting quarterback Luke Mame looks to be out for the rest of the game. Don't want to speculate there, but looks to be out. He had a helmet-to-helmet there, and it'll be Nick Smirt taking over at quarterback for the Hawklets. Don't forget, it's hard-hitting, hard-pounding excitement. It's community versus community and school against school. The #1 high school football event in the state. We're talking about the 2018 Misha Show Me Bowl. This year's football championships feature 7 games, November 24th, 30th, and December 1st, and it's the pinnacle of Missouri high school football. Get your tickets today and be a part of the action. For more information, log on to misha.org or contact one of the schools involved in today's game, and we'll see you at the Show Me Bowl 2018. Like I said, tough, physical first half, and it started off with really Rockhurst dominating. It's 14-3. Blue Springs got a solid 4th-and-1 stop, took it down, and they ended up getting a quick touchdown between Mansfield and Cooper Willick. And they're going to get the ball first here in the second half, a chance to take the lead. We're 45 seconds from kickoff here at Dasta Stadium. Number 26, Michael Johnson, the leading rusher for the Hawklets so far this year. You see him back on the sideline, but he has not been in the game all day. It looks like he's nursing some sort of hamstring injury, something along those lines. And you'll see him on the sideline down there trying to get a little bit loose. It's a cold, chilly day, and it's only getting worse. Overcast here. The wind out of the north. Old Glory here to a little bit to our southwest. And she's waving from north to south. So we're about to get underway for second half action. Blue Springs going to be going from east to west. An interesting stadium here, going east to west as opposed to north and south. Luckily, don't have to worry about the sun today. Nice and chilly. Like I mentioned in the first half, the coats, beanies, gloves are all out. Plenty of blue on this sideline and purple and gold on the opposite sideline. Avion Bailey and Patso Tapusoa. Tapusoa had a great return in the first half. So we'll see where Rockhurst goes. Owen Lawson teeing it up for the Hawklets as we start the second half. 12 minutes on the clock, 24 minutes to the state championship. Taking it at the 26, and going to be stopped up there. That's Ray Horton. Typically see the fair catch there, but instead elects to try and run it back a little bit. And so that's where Blue Springs will take over from the 29-yard line, down 4 points. Packed house here today at Dasta Stadium, campus of Rockhurst High School. Student section over there for Blue Springs. And the student section for Rockhurst showing out today. Plenty of blankets. Plenty of sweatshirts as well. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Brings the man in motion. Mansfield pitches to Bailey out left. Bailey trying to find a crease. Stiff arms one. Can't get away from Jack McLiney. Brings him down, as well as a host of Hawklets there. And no gain. 2nd and 10. Tommy Eccles and Tucker Atwood have led this team in tackles this year. And they play the middle linebacker position and left outside linebacker position, as well as Mitch Tarwater has had a good game today as well. Mansfield going up top, looking for a man, has a man, and the offense turned into defense there. Matt Marzoff, the intended receiver. Jalen Creighton, the starting running back today, out there in coverage, trying to make a play. 3rd down and 10, Mansfield. Good throw there. Solid. No ducks so far today. Haven't seen an ugly pass thrown. Pretty good quarterbacks We will see the backup, Nick Smirt, for the Hawklets whenever they get the ball back in just a little bit. But for now, 3rd and 10, I formation for the Wildcats. Play action, a couple of guys out en route. Flag flies, and Mansfield dives forward for 3. And it's a holding on the offense. Imagine that will be declined. I'll bring up 4th down. So a 3 and out here to start the second half. Rockhurst holds strong. Going to get the ball back for this offense. Lance Shelton listed as an athlete. I'd say all these guys are athletes, but maybe he's just a specialized athlete. Going to be back deep, as well as Cooper Kresick. 5'1", 195. From here, he does not look 5'1", 195, but we'll believe the program. Almost knocked the top of the Rockhurst helmets off. And a good punt there by Mansfield, all the way down to the 20-yard line. Solid one there. 47-yard punt. No return. And that's where you're going to get Nick Smirt, the backup quarterback, coming in for Luke Boehm, or Boehm, pardon me. Luke Boehm got walked off with an injury in the first half. So now that brings Danny Stiegel as the backup. He's down there ready to go just in case anything happens to Nick Smirt. Smirt stands in the shotgun at his own 14. He pulls it, run, upended after a yard. Good solid defense there by Austin Stoller. 10:26 to go here in the third quarter. Just getting going here in the second half. All the fans sticking around. Who's going to go to the state championship to face either Christian Brothers College or Joplin? And that game getting underway in about 23 minutes down in Joplin. Smirt under center. Offset eye in the backfield. It's a pitch. Around the left side, has a set of blockers and a good stop there. Stoller, I should say, and then Jalen Creighton there on the carry. Yeah, Stoller as well as number 42, Christian Mendez there on the stop. It's 3rd down and 8. Probably see Smirt go to the air here. 9:38 and counting in the third. Got to imagine old reliable Andrew Stafford, the tight end. He's had a big game so far today. He's at the bottom of your screen, just about 5 feet above the 20-yard line. Play action. Smirt rolling right, getting collapsed and going to be brought down. 3-way sack there. Leading the way is Nico Manning, as well as Ethan Zipsey. The sack there, 3 guys, 3 and out. Not a great start for that offense in the second half. Nick Smirt not able to get the pass away. So it's 4th and 14 from their own 14. Gabe Whipple stands at his own goal line. Heels cresting the white. Clean snap. Wobbly kick. Fair catch called for. Looked like there was some interference. Instead, a muffed punt. Looks like Rockhurst is going to come away with it. Wilson Selzer and Jack McLiney down there to cover. And it is a muffed punt. Sure enough, Sam Schutte down there to recover it. So it's 1st and 10. A gift here to start the second half for that Hawklet offense. Smirt under center. Turns around and hands it to the running back. 4-yard pickup for Jalen Creighton. Creighton, a solid first half. Gotta believe the running game, the key to Smirt here in the second half. they can whittle down the clock and get a win here at home to go to the state championship. Smirt trots down under the center of Jackson Wentworth. Handoff. Spin move out to the outside, and he's not going to get away. Form tackle there. Ethan Zipsey takes down Jalen Creighton. Nice tackle there. See? Form tackle's still a thing, guys. Wrapping up, taking him to the ground. A loss. Going to bring up 3rd down and 9. 7:40 and counting here in the 3rd quarter. Split back, shotgun. Smirt standing at his own 43-yard line. Single receiver to each side. Stetz and Stafford. The old reliable 1st down. The hitch route right at the chains. Put it on him, and he's going to come away with it. The 6'3", 230-pound senior having a day. And a 1st down for Rockhurst. Moves the chains. 7:23 left here in the 3rd quarter. Looked like it was a good chance to stop this Hawkwood offense. They did stop him once. The muff punt turns into this. I formation, tight end left. Smirt, handoff straight away off right guard. Brought down. Creighton again. Brought down by Ray Horton. 7 minutes and counting now. Every person essentially back in their seat from halftime. For those of you who are just joining us, starting quarterback for Rockhurst, Luke Boehm, appears to be out with an injury. Number 16, Nick Smirt, taking the snaps. The 6'4", 215-pound junior sends a man out to wing left. Single running back. He's rolling left. He's going to run it. Going to the sideline. And brought down Ray Horton there again. On the scramble is going to bring up 3rd down and 3. Smirt, maybe a little bit taller. A little bit more difficult getting those legs going as opposed to Boehm in the first half. But 3rd down and 3. It's another big 3rd down for this Blue Springs defense. To get back-to-back stops would be huge. Yes, the muff punt was bad, but if they can get a stop, you imagine they can salvage something. Whistle blown dead. Typically means early movement. And is a dead ball false start. Moving back 5, makes the 3rd and 3 into a 3rd and 7. A little bit more difficult now. Might have to see Smirt go to the air. Penalties played a big part.
5-yard penalty. 3rd and 8 to 40.
Smirt standing at the Blue Springs 45. Tight end left, drops back, looking at Stafford, now goes over to the right side, looks intercepted. And it is. Intercepted by number 19, Alex Hughes, listed as a wide receiver, plays corner. Smirt throws an interception, and Blue Springs takes over. It's 6:04 left here in the 3rd quarter. It's 14-10 Rockhurst, but Blue Springs with the momentum. Kobe Mansfield bringing back out the team. This Rockhurst defense has been strong today. Only giving up 1 touchdown to this Blue Springs offense. 6:04 here to go in the 3rd. Mansfield out of the shotgun with Bailey. Offset off his right hip. Handoff reverse, looking to throw. Have it covered, he throws it anyways. Willett turned into defensive back there. Andrew Hathaway there in the coverage. Pardon me, Carter Elder there in coverage. And a flag is down on Rockhurst. Roughing the passer on Rockhurst. Now, I don't know all the rules about football, but if it's a reverse pass, does he count as a passer? You guys can Google that one at home for me. Nonetheless, it's first down and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Mansfield with a stacked backfield behind him. 6 yards deep. Handoff out of it. Picks up 4. Quentin Fontenot there. Second leading rusher for the Wildcats so far this season. Picks up 4. Brings up second down and 6. Creeping towards midfield. They're on their own 49-yard line. Going the same formation, little stacked backfield. Fontenot and Bailey 4 yards behind. It's Mansfield on the quarterback sneak on second down and 6. I do remember Blue Springs enjoying their quarterback sneak every now and then on the random second down and 6. Third down and 2. They're now on the Rockhurst 47-yard line. And here we go. Nobody to the right side of the field for the Wildcats. It's Avion Bailey. Straight off left guard in a first down with a pickup of 4. They know what they're going to do on third down. If it's third and short, Avion Bailey's the way to go. Has over 1,700 yards on the year. He's approaching the 2,000-yard mark. Solid year for him. 19 touchdowns as well. Very talented running back in that backfield. 4:55 to go here in the third quarter. It's first down and 10 Wildcats from the Rockhurst 43-yard line. Handoff, Bailey up the gut in a single back. Jukes out 1. Not able to evade all the tacklers. Picks up 2 more. Once again, Tucker Outwood, the leading tackler. One of the leading tacklers for the Hawklets this year. Solid defense here for Rockhurst. Like I said, on the other side of the bracket, just now getting underway here in the next 12 minutes is Christian Brothers College High School against Joplin to see who the winner of this one gets in the state title. Mansfield pulls it. Ball's on the ground, and Rockhurst comes away with it. Mitch Tarwater comes away with the fumble recovery. The option, it gives and it takes away. And clearly there, it was a takeaway. Tarwater comes away with the fumble recovery with 4:04 here to go in the third. Mansfield to Bailey. Not work there on the option. So it's Smirt back to work. Bunch set right. Single back. It's Creighton. Gets a handoff. And met by a pack of Wildcats there. Jalen Creighton has been the workhorse. And he picks up 2 more. Zipsy and Horton combine on the tackle. Ray Horton as well as Zipsy having a good solid game on that defense for Blue Springs. Who will go to the state championship? We're 3.5 away in the third quarter and then 12 more in the fourth and letting you know. Smirt chatting with his center Jackson Wentworth. Now out of the shotgun, bunch set left. And it's a QB option. Going to get dragged down in the backfield. That's Austin Stuller. Not as clean of a transition as you might expect. On the fake. Third down and 13. Andrew Stafford bringing it into play. Critical third down with this Rockhurst offense. Got to get something going. Backup quarterback in. The fullback, Chuck Ingram, stands at Smirt's left. Takes the snap. Takes a 3-step drop to the left. cocks it up and throws it short as he got hit. The pressure brought on by that defensive line, as well as Nico Manning there to plant Smirt into the turf. 2:29 to go here in the third quarter, and nobody's even gotten close to the end zone. We knew it would be a tougher half to move the ball. It's gotten colder. These guys have played a half of football. And now it's Gabe Whipple standing heels at his own 30. High snap, ball's on the ground. Tries to get it off, gets just nailed. And it turns into a scrum, but it shouldn't matter. It's fourth down. High snap, and Gabe Whipple could not get it away. The pressure put on by Ray Horton. Rockhurst comes away with the ball, but it does not matter. It's fourth down. And Blue Springs will have great field position. An identical spot to where their first drive started in the first quarter. Mansfield having a chance at redemption here. He tossed the option pitch onto the ground, recovered by Rockhurst. And then there, after a 3 and out, couldn't get the punt away. So Fontenot behind Bailey, Bailey behind Mansfield at the 37. Fullback dive just blown up. That's Sawyer Crawford, the 5'10", 220-pound senior. It's a big guy right there in the middle. Loss of 2, 2nd and 12 from the 39 for Blue Springs. Not a stranger, these two meeting in the playoffs on a big stage. Some consider a rivalry. I'm sure lots of people consider a rivalry. Mansfield hands off to Bailey, following a couple pulling blockers. And he trots his way to the 36-yard line. Jack McCliney and Glazer there for the stop. 3-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 8. Going to be close to 4-down territory, you got to believe. 1 minute, 20 seconds left here in the third quarter. Well, this one's flown by, considering the first half took forever. I think they owed us one. 1:10 here. Mansfield, single running back. That's Fontenot. Bailey's up top in a wide receiver set. Fontenot gets the handoff. I think they've conceded to the 4-down territory. Some extracurricular, and there's the flag. Fontenot not happy. A couple of guys that have whistle blown. They try to take him down. And it looks like it's going to be unsportsmanlike. Rockhurst's crowd over here is not pleased. Waiting for the official call. Personal foul on Rockhurst. Going to be a first down. Well, a 3rd down and 8 was going to turn into 4th down, and instead, a 15-yard penalty is going to march them down to the 20-yard line. Blue Springs trying to take advantage. Instead, it goes to the 16-yard line. I apologize. 54 seconds here to go in the third quarter. Crosswind for Blue Springs going from right to left on the field. Avion Bailey stands at the 23-yard line, receives the student body right, and met by a Hocklet. That is Mitch Tarwater having a heck of a ball game. The first offensive play of the game for Blue Springs was the student body left, and it worked for 22, and since then, that play has only gone backwards. 2nd down, and it'll be about 11 and a half. We have 17 seconds here to go in the third quarter. We see if they want to run a play or not. Down to 12. Play clock has not been an issue today. These two teams pretty fast pace. Game clock at 6. They hand off to Avion Bailey on a fullback punch. Pick up a 4. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 as we go to the 4th quarter. Scoreless in the 3rd. And Blue Springs will have a 3rd down when we return. Rockhurst leads 14-10. 12 minutes to the state championship. We'll be right back on 810varsity.com.
Chiefs checking from Community America gets you closer to the game. Is there any better way to get closer?
Hey, man. Go long. Chiefs checking from Community America.
Welcome back to Dasta Stadium. Jonathan Pulaski and Todd Sanford on board for you. Thanks for joining us on 810varsity.com. 4th quarter action in the state semifinal game in Class 6 in the state of Missouri. Awaiting the winner of Christian Brothers College in Joplin. It's a 3rd down and 8. Mansfield rolls out, has nobody, tries to throw it. Incomplete. Is going to bring up 4th down and 7. Looks like Freddie Ramiro is going to trot on out to the field. He had a 29-yard field goal earlier in the game. This was going the other way. This one a 31-yarder. This would put Blue Springs within a point. Cooper Willick is the holder. Snap is good. Hold is good. And the kick is good. The 31-yard field goal is good by Freddie Ramiro. What's a 1-point ball game? 14-13 is the score. And Blue Springs is going to have to come back out and play defense. 11:50 here to go in the final quarter. We'll hang with you here this time. It's just a field goal. Well, I'm sure there'll be plenty of timeouts coming up here in the 4th quarter, but we'll hang with you here. Each team, 3 timeouts left here in the game. Freddie Ramiro accounting for 6 points for Blue Springs today. Pardon me, 7 points if you count the extra point on the touchdown. So Rockhurst got to consider that a win, getting a field goal out of that as opposed to a touchdown. 14-13. Rockhurst will get the ball back, and they have not been able to get a lot going here in the second half as far as offensively. Kobe Mansfield will be the kicker for the kickoff. Lance Shelton will stand at his own 2.5-yard line awaiting the kick. Mansfield has been quarterback all day long, and yes, he also does the kickoffs and the punting. Puts a boot into this one, gets pushed from left to right with the wind. Shelton takes it the 11. He's speedy. Look at him across the 40. Has a blocker to the 45 and dragged down at the 46. And he is excited there. The big cat, 5'4", 145. Trying to get something going for this Hocklet offense. Lost his mouthpiece down there on the sideline as well. A little momentum here on this sideline now. The crowd back into it, leading by a point. Smirt handles the offense from his own 48-yard line. Offset eye, handoff. Creighton across midfield to the Blue Springs 44. Brought down by Brett LeVar. Creighton has done a solid job for that backfield, running the ball all day. Their leading rusher, Michael Johnson, has not seen the field today. Seen him trying to get his legs warmed up. Don't know if he's nursing a hamstring or what, but he has not seen the backfield today. So Creighton 6 yards behind, 3 yards behind his fullback. Quarterback sneak, Smirt pops his head out, gets across the 41 to the 40. 10:58. Clock stops as the chains move. We haven't seen much out of Joseph Coy today either, the leading receiver. We've seen a lot of Stafford, Andrew Stafford, the tight end. He's at the top of the formation in the tight end set. Two receivers, two, Smirt's right in the I formation. Handoff, Creighton. Creighton stood up at the line and dragged down there by Austin Stoller again. Stoller, great game for him as well. Solid out of that linebacker position. 6'1", 230-pound senior for the Wildcats. Maybe wants to try and play one more game in his career, at least in high school. 10-12 and counting here in the fourth. Nick Smirt, the junior, 215 pounds at 6'4", 3 on the play clock, gets the snap off. And it's a reverse to Coy, a convoy of guys around him, including Ike. And good defense there. He had Danielson, Ike, as well as Joe Kelly on the pull. Ethan Zipsey there to make the stop. That defense is being stingy. Third down and 3.5 or 4 to get the first down. Tell you what, you don't want to see Danielson, Ike, and Joe Kelly running at you. You got 6'7", 340, and 6'4", 270 running right at your face. Instead, Zipsey stands in and makes the stop. 3rd and 4, 9:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. Smirt under center. Turns, hands it to Creighton. Creighton stopped in the backfield. Nico Manning once again there, the defensive lineman coming through. They'll call it a no gain. 4th and 4. They lead by 1. Massive play here in the state semifinal. 4th and 4 with 9:25 to go. Backup quarterback taking the snap from Jackson Wentworth. Can Smirt somehow lead this Hawklet offense to a first down? Play action, rolls right, has nobody around, stops, goes back left, tries to find a seam, and gets brought down. Nicholas Henderson with the stop, and they turn it over on downs. Blue Springs will take over from there. This Rockhurst side of the field has gone completely silent here in the second half. No points on the board. 39 seconds left in the first half. Their starting QB, Luke Boehm, went out with an injury, has not been back. So it's been on Nick Smirt's plate and was brought down there to turn it over on downs by Nicholas Henderson. So it's 9:05 here to go in the game. It's 14-13 Rockhurst, clinging to a 1-point lead. Mansfield toss to Fontenot. Lead blocker Bailey tries to get the corner and maybe picks up one to the 35-34. Andrew Stafford has just had a heck of a game. Between being a tight end and a defensive end, he's run all over the field today. Had a 60 or 56-yard pickup, pitch and catch in the first half, and now is really focused on the defensive side of the ball lately. He had a big pickup on a 3rd down earlier on in the 3rd quarter as well. Mansfield out of the shotgun with Bailey to his left, hands it off, and a little early movement. They wanted to use some counter movement It's a false start. Moving back 5 yards. So 2nd and 15 for Blue Springs. For a primarily running team, doesn't do too well with scooting back like that. Cooper Willick, the leading receiver for the Wildcats this year. And then Patso Tapusoa in the mid part of the trips to the left side of Mansfield have been the main receivers. And another flag. Looks like it's going to go against Blue Springs again. So the Rockhurst side of the field pleased. Back to back. False starts, moving back 10 yards. Kelly Donahoe and the 5th-ranked Blue Springs Wildcats in the A10varsity.com poll, facing off against the number 2 Rockhurst Hawklets, according to the A10varsity.com poll. Mansfield, 2nd and 20, takes the shotgun snap, steps into the pocket, and it's going to get brought down. That's number 45, Jack McLiney. Couldn't keep him behind the line of scrimmage, so the scramble turns into a 1-yard gain. 3rd and 19, and what's turned into a defensive battle here in the second half. Not going to be easy getting 19 yards. Mansfield takes the snap. Play action to Bailey. Rolls, wants something. Looks like a hold, and a hold comes in. They're going to decline it anyways. But a good stop there by Jack McLiney. Flying around at 6'1", 210, the senior. Holding on Blue Springs, and I imagine that they would decline it, but it's they will. It'll make it 4th down and 17. Didn't know if they wanted to try and push the field position back even further. If you're that confident in your defense, I figured maybe move back an extra 10, but instead they're going to have to punt this one away. Mansfield, the punter. We've seen Rockhurst have some trouble going this direction on the punt. A snap earlier over the head of Gabe Whipple gave the Blue Springs Wildcats good field position. So Mansfield punting it away from his own 20, and a good spiraling kick. And it's going to check up around the 17, 16-yard line now. That's a 63-yard kick. What a kick there. Nice punt. And they flip the field position. So in this defensive battle here in the second half, if you're keeping home score, I should say, it's the Wildcats are 3. Hawklets are 0 in the second half. 14-13 is the score. Rockhurst student section trying to get pumped up down there. Nick Smirt trots back out onto the field. The 6'4", 215-pound junior has been back up, but has had plenty of game experience. Rockhurst been in a lot of blowouts this year. Turns and hands it to Creighton in an offset eye across the 23-yard line. Ball looks to come out. The refs are saying no. The entire Blue Springs sideline is saying yes. Oh, and they gave it to him. Wow. Brett LeVar there to come away with the fumble recovery. I'm not sure we saw that all the way from up here, but then all the Wildcats started pointing their direction. Sure enough, the refs hand it over. And so what's turned into a defensive battle, a 63-yard punt from Nick Mansfield, and then a fumble there by Creighton essentially puts them in field goal range. Freddie Ramiro's had some good ones today. His limit's about 31, so they need to get about 6 or 7 yards. There's plenty of time left here. 7:29 to go here in the fourth quarter. Blue Springs back to life. This Hawklet defense has been very good in the second half. Stack bunch right, quarterback sneak on 1st down and 10. Not often you see the nose tackle reaching around the center to grab the quarterback to bring him down, but it's a pickup of 4. And Kobe Mansfield picks up enough to make 2nd and manageable. Wind starting to pick up here out of the north. Steps back, directs the play, 15 on the play clock. Rockhurst showing blitz. Instead, it's Avion Bailey straight up the middle, bounces off one, stiff arms another, down to the 13, to the 12, close to a 1st down. It is a 1st down. They can get a 1st down without a touchdown. They got to get to the 3. Avion Bailey patient running there. Cooper Willick at the bottom of the formation. Trips to Mansfield's left, and it's off left guard this time. Not going anywhere. That's number 65, Tim Glazer. The 6'3", 245-pound junior says, nuh-uh. Losing 2. It's a 2nd and 12 from the 14-yard line. Wonder how conservative you get with the play calling here. You got a really, really good running back in the backfield. And they bring in another one. There's Micah King in the fullback position for Blue Springs. Turn and hand it to Bailey. Bailey carrying it in the left hand. It looks like a flag comes in. I'm imagining that's going to be a hold. One of the toughest positions to be as a referee is the umpire. And it's a hold on Blue Springs. With 5:48 here to go in the 4th quarter, it's 14-13 Rockhurst. That's a costly penalty. Moves him back 10, makes it 2nd and 22. It will be 2nd and 21. Mansfield has not gone to the air a lot today. Tapu Soa at the bottom of the formation, and Willick at the top. Fontenot and Bailey split in the backfield. Hand off Fontenot, off left guard, slips through. Back to the original line of scrimmage, a pickup of 11. Tell you what, of all the people there, Fontenot is the slippery one. You got Avion Bailey, who's the big bulky guy and can carry the load, but Fontenot, he's a good change of pace back. And sure enough, a bit smaller. 5'6", 150, the junior. He's had a good game as well. Able to follow that big offensive line, you kind of get lost. Same formation for Blue Springs. Handoff, Fontenot, essentially the same play. Spins out of it. Brought down by guess who? Andrew Stafford. Andrew Stafford has done it all today for this team. So it's 4th down and 11. This is essentially the same spot that Freddie Ramiro hit from earlier. 30 yards. He had a 31 from the same spot. Looking for the lead. The Rockhurst crowd rises to their feet. Snap. Blocked. It's blocked. The big boy. Number 39, Tommy Eccles comes in for the block. Tommy Eccles might have saved the season for Rockhurst. Game certainly not out of reach. 3 timeouts for each. Freddie Ramiro's kick blocked. First miss today for him. Tommy Eccles got through middle pressure and able to get the block. First and 10 for Nick Smart, pulling guard. Creighton Creighton, flag down across the 40 to the 50. It's a foot race to the 40, down to the 30 to the 20. 10-5, Rockhurst, touchdown. But not so fast. There is a little yellow hanky that could put this all on hold. It's a holding on Rockhurst. So that negates an 80-yard touchdown run by Jalen Creighton. Talk about a game ender, what it could have been. How far do we look back down the line and see how critical this one could be? An 80-yard touchdown run negated. You always got to think whenever the flag comes out from the umpire, it's going to most likely be an illegal hands in the face or most likely a holding. 80% of the time, 90% of the time a hold. So 4:02 to go here in the fourth quarter. The 80-yard run from Jalen Creighton is negated. It's 1st and 20 from their own 10. The wind starts to pick up again here out of the north as the temperature continues to drop down to 40 degrees now. At the field level, it feels like 150, I'm sure. The adrenaline pumping so hard, they're not even feeling the temperature. 4:02, 14-13, Rockhurst. Both lines dig in. It's a reverse to Coit. Joseph Coit with the big boys out in front, following him. And he's going to pick up about 8 or 9. They like that play. Danielson, Ike, and Joe Kelly, the two guys out there leading them. A talented offensive line. It's been very much matched by this defensive line today by Blue Springs. Both defenses playing exceptionally well. 15 on the play clock. 3:53 on the game clock. 2nd and 14 for Smirts, has Creighton 6 yards deep and 2 receivers to the right. 3-step drop, and now it's a draw. Has him across the 25 and tripped up there. That's going to be Ray Horton. He'll bring up 3rd down and 4. There have been plenty of big-time stops today for both sides, but it couldn't come at a more critical time if Blue Springs can get it done. 3 timeouts for each side. Those are critical with 3.5 left in the ball game. A ticket to Columbia on the line. Smirt with a tight end right, that's Stafford. 3-step drop, the draw again. Creighton with the fullback blocker up across to the 39. Ethan Zipsy on the stop, but the damage was done. Creighton with a gain of 14 on the same play. It'll be 1st down and 10 as the clock creeps over 3 minutes here in the fourth quarter left. Waiting on the other side, Christian Brothers College High School versus Joplin. They're 20 minutes underway down there in Joplin. For now, Smirt on 1st and 10, 2:45 to go. Takes the snap, same draw play. Creighton, this time not going to be fooled as Blue Springs. That's Austin Stoller, pulled him by a shoestring. Blue Springs will take a timeout, and thank God we get to take one with them. It's 2:36 to go here in the fourth quarter. 14-13 Rockhurst. Like we said, a ticket to Columbia on the line. We'll let you know who's going to get it whenever we come back. You're watching high school football on 810varsity.com.
When you think about your insurance, chances are it's when you're paying your bill or filing a claim. At Briar Payne Mead, we always think about your insurance. It's what we do. Buying a car, having a baby, building a home, starting a business. Then it's time to call BPM at 913-681-099 or visit us on the web at bpminsurance.com. Great service and extremely competitive rates from the top-rated companies. Briar Payne Mead, 913-6810-099. That's 913-6810-099.
Second and 9 here. Rockhurst clinging to a 1-point lead. 2 timeouts left for Blue Springs. It just took 1. It's a jet sweep. Coy gets a big block across midfield. That should. He did go out of bounds, however, so it does stop the clock. Ray Horton, another stop. What a game it has been, though. Couple of field goals and a touchdown for Blue Springs, and Rockhurst just having to hold on to a 2-score lead from the first half. Starting QB Luke Boehm out in the first half. So now it's Nick Smirt. Smirt turns, hands it to Creighton. Creighton to the 42. Brought down by Simeon Sullivan. So they'll let their clock run here. It's at the 41. 2 timeouts left. Clock will get to about 1:53-ish when they have to snap the ball again. And no rush is Tony Severino, the 7-time state champ, only coach to ever have a state championship in both Kansas and Missouri. 14-13, his Rockhurst Hawklets lead. Handoff Creighton. Creighton stopped by Austin Stuller. Timeout taken by Kelly Donahoe. And we'll hang here with you for this one. Getting down to the nitty-gritty here. 1:41 here to go in the ball game. 2 early scores for Rockhurst is all they've had this ball game. 13 points coming on a Freddie Romero 29-yard field goal, a touchdown by Cooper Willick in the second quarter, and then another Freddie Romero field goal here in the fourth quarter is where we're at. 2 touchdowns today for Jalen Creighton, the workhorse out of the backfield for the Hawklets. Essentially, it's going to be in his hands. It's going to be 3rd down and 4. We get the over-the-shoulder look here of Severino in that offense, and you see a lot of people patting Jalen Creighton on the back, known for the job he's done today, but go pat number 35, Chuck Ingram, the fullback. The junior, 6'2", 205, has done a heck of a job out of the fullback position today. So it comes down to this, 1:41, 1 timeout left for Blue Springs, 4 down linemen. Smirt takes the ball, hands it off, and stopped in the backfield. Great stop there. Number 55, Conrad Rowley, there on the stop. So the final timeout for Blue Springs. Smirt tried to hand it off there to Creighton, and nothing doing. Rowley there, Conrad Rowley, the shoestring tackle. 1:37 to go here. It's 4th down and 5. So if you're Severino, he's no stranger to winning. But what do you do here? You're 4th and 5 from the Blue Springs 40. Do you punt it and try and pin them deep, knowing that they have a long ways to go, or do you go for it? And I think we got our answer. Number 93, Gabe Whipple, trotting out onto the field for a punt, standing at his own 45-yard line on the right hash. An 11-man rush is coming at Rockhurst. Nobody back deep. Everybody coming. Nobody got to him. Ball's away. One guy there. And big 53 Jackson Wentworth couldn't stop. And there looks to be a flag on the play. Running into the kicker is the call. Very, very close. I assume it's going to be a first down, but that's a tough way to end a great ball game. Running into the kicker makes it a first down, and that's how Kelly Donahoe and the Blue Springs Wildcats are going to go down. Donahoe being treated for cancer in the abdomen region, had chemotherapy each day this week, and then came out and coached his team as hard as he physically could. And that team played hard for him today. It's tough to see that end like this. Some handshakes already going on. These two teams, a lot of respect for each other. And Tony Severino and his squad going to come away and take a trip to Columbia. Going to put it on the line next week, waiting the winner of Christian Brothers College and Joplin. A lot of favorite towards Christian Brothers College. A lot of the prediction machines out there, as well as prognosticators. 1:04 here to go. A couple more knees for Nick Smirt to take. It's a tough way to go out for Blue Springs. Played a good, solid game, but Rockhurst, a better team today. They beat them 17-0 on August 31st. This one a much closer contest. 14-13, 37 seconds here to go. It's third down, 19 on the play clock, and this will do it. One more knee. And for the seniors on the Blue Springs squad, this will be their final game, pending going on to play college football. And Rockhurst will make another trip to a state title. There they go, the Rockhurst Hawklets will head to Columbia next week to take on the winner of Christian Brothers College and Joplin. Well, it's been a chilly one, and we're happy to bring it to you today. A lot of fun and some good football on both sides as well. Well, enjoy the state championships, the Show Me Bowl coming up next week. For Jonathan Pulasic and Todd Sanford, this has been 810varsity.com and high school football semifinal state for the Missouri Class 6A. And for now, we will see you next time on 810varsity.com.